Okay, look at this. Look at this side of the room and look at this side of the room. Like, what the hell? I just, like, I don't know. That seems weird, doesn't it? I don't know. Everything is so fucking weird. Like, come on. What isn't weird at this point? I swear to God. But, okay, let's look at my hair because I can't even believe it when I'm in the bathroom. Like, in this light thing, it picks it up so much brighter than it does, because in the bathroom, this doesn't look white at all. And it is, there's not that many hairs left. And it makes it look like there's more, but I'm telling you, there's barely any when you try and do it. So those will, I thought today even, but I think tomorrow it's gonna barely be able to see. It's the same over here. It's like this one little stripe. Well, that's even got dark on that side. It's only like a few hairs. So anyways, it's going. And I'm telling you, it has changed my hair. I so silky and soft. And the color is so rich. And I'm also, I want to show up close on my skin because I swear to God, it's improving my skin. It's improving inside my body. Doesn't hurt. My body doesn't ache. But so, like the lines and stuff, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the whole thing is age reversing. I swear to God. And I saw, you know, when I've been talking about this and stuff, you just can't imagine the videos that pop up. It's like I'll start talking about something and I'll just get these videos that'll come about it. So I got this video yesterday where this guy was talking about, is aging real? After I just did that yesterday. And he was talking about being shorted on the minerals and all that stuff. And he was just saying like the same stuff as me. And so anyways, I'm gonna keep on this theory thing of aging isn't real. Aging is created, just like death is created. And they put it together because they know that we'll follow through. We'll do it. Like we will, even if somebody gets sick, they have to save themselves. You know, they think, oh, this medicine saved me or whatever. No, you saved you. You are the one who saved you. It's all in here. And it's a personal battle, but it's also, it's set. It's already set. The people who are supposed to go are going to go. The people who are supposed to stay are going to stay. There's not, you can't switch which role it is. It's like set. And you know what's weird too is like the Schumann is going so wild. But so many of those people who follow it, in my eye, so many of those people who follow it, they always are talking about we're jumping timelines because the frequency is. But how can you? I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like everybody's always just jumping timelines, jumping from what to what. What did you leave and where did you go? What's the change? Is it your attitude? Because the attitude is changing by the deliverance of the energy that gets you to look at things differently. The energy is just there to create you to open your mind to see things that you hadn't seen before. So where is the timeline jumping? Like, where is it you're jumping? Like, what big, you know, like you're working at a grocery store, being a cashier, you go to sleep and you wake up and suddenly you are working in a hotel somewhere and you are, you know, the concierge or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how they're always, I don't know, it's strange. And to me, timeline shifting is a lot more you determining your focus. It's you that focuses on where you are. It isn't. It's weird because it's like everybody looks at things from this other side. But I look at it from over on this other side. So they think like, sometimes this is like brain exhausting. So they look at it from, it's like a perspective of everything's out of their control. But I don't know. There's just so much weird misinformation about spiritual stuff to me. As you are, I just don't think you're just randomly jumping timelines. Like it seems sometimes as they flip time back, like how it just drags and drags, like they keep flipping us back somehow. And maybe the Schumann is going so wild because they can't flip us back, and so it's bringing in way more light, because there's way more light coming in and stuff. Like there's all sorts of stuff. There's weird patterns and stuff again. So I don't know what got my eye. Anyways, it's like these people keep talking about it's like a group or something, but you're an individual. So your individual experience is the one. It's like you need to be focused on your individual experience. The people who come into your life bring you information to help you. It's like each time you have an interaction, you're given a tool to make things better, easier. But even if you overreact, like you get triggered and you overreact and you get mad, and you still, there is time for you to like, oh man, I'm getting completely, like, it's like, I don't know, it's overwhelming. It's like so broad how so many people look at things so opposite, but then they all agree to look at it like this way. So then you can't tell them to look at it any other way because they're all in agreement. I saw this study this guy did. So it starts, it's weird. Like, it's so weird. This study with this guy and some Russian student. And so he made up this game. And there was a reason why he made up the game. But so the game is, you write down on a piece of paper, wolf on 2 pieces, and then villager on all the rest. You hand out all the pieces of paper. So everybody in the game has a piece of paper, and they look and see what they are. And then everybody has to close their eyes. And then the 2 people who are wolves point at somebody, and that is who dies. And so they point at so-and-so, and so then the game is, okay, so-and-so died last night, and now everybody's got to figure out who is the killer. And all the people all have to try and talk about it and figure out who the wolf is. And even the wolves are all, involved. And so everybody talks about it, and then they point out who they think it is, and then the person is usually a villager. So rarely do they get the wolf. And then it takes, there's like more to it about, the wolf and the villagers, and how the game is won and lost or whatever. But the social experiment was to show how a group of people who don't have all the information, but if they're in a group, that they think their information is valid. And that is what we see going on in the world right now. All these people who don't have the right information, but they're all in agreement. Even with the super spirits, it's like somehow there was some parameters given to them somewhere along the way. And they all started believing that and pushing on that and telling everybody else and creating this whole philosophy that is, I don't know, I think it's as off teaching as religion is off teaching. I don't think it is um, truly your destiny, or truly your path to enlightenment. I think it's lessons. It's lessons that you're here to learn in both things, in religion and in that stuff. Anything that it's like you've got to follow yourself. Like you can't just be a part of a group. You can't just do and say stuff just because that's what the group agrees. And I think people are cut off from themselves. Like they aren't in tune to themselves or their spirit. Like that's what I've always saying, that people are so cut off from their spirit. Because if you were tuned into your spirit would tell you something different. But you got to listen to that part of you. I don't know, why people don't, or if they don't hear it, or if they would just rather be accepted than stand out. But it's important to get to the point of being able to stand out. You got to be able to, confirmation, you got to be able to stand for yourself, and what you believe in, and what you think, and what you see, because what you think and see and believe is all valid. It's all real. It only has to be real to you. It doesn't have to be real to the rest of the world. Just because they all want to say, well, but then to me, they look foolish. I think so many people look foolish right now. I mean, these huge, huge conversations. Like, well, do you really think there could be aliens? Do you think that there could be people out there flying around in flying saucers? Do you think there could be people down there living in the ground? What do you think? Like, and it's like, what? Yeah. Like, you really think that you're all there is? You really think that? Like, yeah, man. Yeah. There is so much more to this world. What was it? I've seen so much weird shit. Like, this one was a lake. Like, shit going on in Indonesia and the Philippines. Like where I said all those sardines were going up, they've got earthquake going or something. Like shit is gonna keep going down there. Like I'm positive those coastal towns are gonna be gone. And I don't know, just like how whatever in the 1700s or something, when they had that big thing here and the ground just shifted, just dropped. And it's just like boom, drop. And that I think is what it's gonna be. It's just these tectonic plates that are all shifting around. I mean, right now here where I'm at, it's, oh my gosh, it's so fucking cold. It is so motherfucking cold. Like, oh, and I've got to go out today. It's like, God damn it. But she's got to get to the bus station. And so I got to go out and it's going to be a long drive to drive up there, get her, go to the bus station, sit there and wait for the bus, and then drive back. And this shit ass weather. It's like 0 degrees. I think it's supposed to be 6 degrees when I get there, and the wind is just whipping. And it's so scary how in the wind it sounds like a locomotive coming. Like there's something. And all those, I don't know, all those years ago, I don't remember when, that one summer when I was at my mom's, I remember if it was last summer or the summer before. God, it's all just merges into one life. So and I had heard that weird sound coming, and I was listening to the sound. I was like, what in the world? And then the wind came through, and I was like, oh my God, what in the hell? There's some wind machine way back there, and they turned it on and is blasting, and then you can hear it. And that's what it sounds like here. It sounds like this forceful wind is, because you can hear it coming. So weird. And then it blows so hard on the trees, and the trees are going wild. And, it's also so weird. In the last couple days, all my neighbors have been just like talking to me. Like there is a shift, but I'm not going to sit there and say like, oh, it's a timeline shift. Everyone's timelines have shifted. If you want your timeline to shift, you got to be more determined to shift it. Just sit in your bed all day long and then think like, oh, timeline's just shifting. Things are just getting better for me. Like there's people seriously out there teaching that. You don't have to do shit. Don't do shit. The universe is doing it for you. Just sit back. The universe is changing. The age of Aquarius is coming. There's some people saying, you know, we're already in the age of Aquarius. Okay, well, when we are in the age of Aquarius, this is a bridging. This is a transition. We aren't in the age of Aquarius. How are we living in the age of Aquarius yet? When we're living in the age of Aquarius, we'll know we're living in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius will be about love and unity and stuff. We're still getting there. So, you know, these people are sitting there saying, we're in the age of Aquarius now. It's like, okay, well, the age would be represented. Like, how are we in the age? We're not in the age yet. We're, whatever the time period, I don't know, you know, how much leeway there is in the beginning to transition. But I definitely wouldn't say like, oh yeah, we're living in the age of Aquarius, you guys. Just, you got to just focus. Focus on love. Focus on what you want. And then it's like, I think that you need to be present. Be present in whatever situation is going on currently in your orbit. Like what is right around you. Whatever situations are going on, those are the things you have to deal with. Those are the things that you have to focus on. And there's a lot, man. There's so much going on in some of these little towns and stuff. More stuff with jails. Another guy, I think this one in Alabama, the family got him. He was missing everything. I just cleaned him out, sent back an empty shell. Here's your loved one. It's like, oh, well, what'd you do with all the rest of them? Like, what in the hell? Like, seriously. And I'm also so worried, like, this girl, she's got to go because she has no ID, so she can't fly. So she has to take a bus. So she has this bus, so she's got to go down the West Coast. There was already on the 5, I'm not sure where, and I saw some other people on the road, I think by Bakersfield. They got stuck, some road going from Arizona to California. She's going to be going on the 5. I've already seen somewhere on the 5 there was a big old fucking thing. I think it was a big pileup of the trucks. There's been a lot of these pileups of the trucks again. And the this one person who was trying to leave Arizona and go back home, I think they went to a concert or something. This keeps happening. I don't, you know, people go out just mindlessly, just keep going like life's just the same. It's like, oh, it's not. But so they are just in their car and we're driving in the road by Bakersfield or whatever, this long road, I think, through the desert. There keeps being these huge accidents, so they keep having to stop and close the road. And they'd already been sitting there like 5 hours. And a trucker came back and was talking to them because everybody's just parked there. Is that even when the road starts again, they start going a little and then it closes down again. And he said that they could be sitting there for 2 days. So I don't know what's going on with the bus. And she's got to get off 3 times and change buses. Where it's like, oh my God, the amount of traffic. We're like, oh my God. I'm just going to be lecturing her the whole way there. Just like, you know how to give that face like, ugh. And I said, I'm going to tell her, pretend like you're deaf. Just start being like, doing signs to them when they try and talk to you. And just ignore them. Just pull out a little car. I'm deaf. Leave me alone. But I don't know. I don't know that you can get any of these people to leave you alone at this point. Like they're here to cause problems. Like, and any problem that comes is meant to come. Like there's like whatever comes through your path is meant to cross your path. Nothing crosses your path by accident. Everything the universe does is by determination. Everything is set. You know, it's a definite. It's the people. It's the people that don't know how to respond. And it's the people in their ego and their arrogance that think like they have control. Like even, I just don't get this. Like we're all switching timelines. Just every day the Schumann goes crazy. We've switched timelines again. Well, you're on a new timeline. Well, why is everything in my life exactly the same? Why does nothing change? Well, my neighbors start like so the one neighbor over there, she started talking to me the other day about just the stuff going on. And so, so it's like, talk to somebody who knows what's going on. The one next door, we're just talking like neighbor, now she's freshly single and she's got 2 little girls, and she's like, that's hard. I lived like that before. And then she was offering wood. She forgot to put her trash can out yesterday. I ran and put it out for her. It just neighborly kind of stuff, chatting like that. And then, Stella has just been on like high alert, like every little sound. She'll sit here and bark and bark and bark, looking out the window. And the kind of bark she's doing, she has different ranges. The bark she's doing is like somebody is walking up our driveway, and I'll go look, and there's nothing. It just starts becoming spooky. Even when yesterday I went in the bathroom a couple times, because I'm really I'm really obsessing about my hair. Like I keep going in there, like combing it, looking at it, like counting the hairs. Like this is wild. It is wild. Like it may be, I may be talking about it a lot, but it is wild to start reverse aging and right in your mirror to watch it happen. Oh, and while I'm reverse aging, bad news in the other side of the family. So the younger girls, like I've talked about before, their family is the academics, scientists, academics, and I don't know what ego and arrogance what people get when they think they're smarter than other people. Ooh, that kind of felt like a kick to even say. But anyways, when all this started, everybody was getting all these, lots of them. And I kept saying to my kids, like I couldn't tell anybody else, but I tell my kids, please stop. Don't do that. You don't need that. And what has got people so freaked out about a flu? Like, what the fuck? It's a goddamn flu. They've been going around for how many years? Like, you know how to deal with it. It's a cold. Goddamn. But, the other side of the family was like, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know the conversations. Like, I don't know. But they all decided that was a good idea. And now one of them's having serious problems. And what's really mind-blowing is she's the oldest of all the siblings. And there's 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Because there used to be 8, but 3 of them passed when they were younger. So there's 5. And this is the oldest, and she's super healthy. Like, she's been vegetarian or vegan for long ass time. She has a farm. She's everything fresh. She is so healthy, like always has been, super duper healthy, and not a drinker or anything like that. And the other people in the family, there's some major drinking issues. There's a lot of stuff that is where, there's a definite standout. Like, she's super healthy, and all of them are different on their health. Like, a lot more sickly. Some of them may have quit drinking, but still, when you drank a long time, it's hard on your body. And so you can still have effects of it. But everything, it's all up in here. And so, anyway, she's had a heart attack. And so my daughter was like, oh, she's in the hospital. We don't know what's going on and all this stuff. And I was like, ugh. Well, that's really strange, like the healthiest person out of all of them. And she's the one who's going in having this. As I'm not mentioning anything about that. Like, I don't know what they've all heard or know. But I was like, man, That has got to make people stop and think. And I would assume that everybody in this family is got a lot. And so I don't know. I haven't asked because I don't really like to. I don't know. It's like it's hard. It's hard. And you know, and you don't want to be like, I don't want to be, you know, putting that kind of stuff in people's minds. That's like whatever they need to learn or know, the universe will take care of it. I'm not going to go and tell somebody like stuff like I hear people saying. Like that just seems like, and why would you put it in someone's head? No, you're going to die. You're going to die. Well, you don't know for sure. So you put it in their head, then they are going to be the ones. You don't know what their battle is. There's a lot of health battles going on right now. A lot of where people have got to see that they've got to take a stand in their own health. These other people who say they're going to help you aren't helping. They don't give a shit. And, you know, and I've got this appointment next week to go get this, I don't know, physical or authorization, whatever. Check in with your doctor because this fucking system they created, they don't, there's, you know, they've got it set. I mean, when you're at a point when you have to go in for a plastic surgeon's office, you have to go and do all this stuff at your GP and stuff. The plastic surgeons, they get paid big amount of money, and then, you know, little usher, yeah, come in, yeah, I'll do a facelift on you. You died on the table, oh well, give me that $10,000. I don't give a shit. Like, they don't give a fuck. You know, I'm sure if you came in and you were decrepit and you couldn't breathe and you were gray and you had bad color, then they would maybe say like, oh, it's probably not a good idea. You need to go get, so, like I said, labs or EKG or something. But I don't know. It just seems like a well-oiled machine. Now, all of a sudden, you know, to go to a doctor that is typically one that you're paying out of pocket, you are the one deciding, and now they want to get other doctors involved in it. And I saw this other girl, and she was talking about something. I keep seeing these videos of these people, but I can't remember what her story was. Is she was trying to go, because the one kid, he was trying to get his medicine, and they were just giving him a runaround. Well, now his insurance doesn't cover that place, and you know, and how's he gonna get his insurance? Which I was getting some bullshit with hers too. Like Walgreens, don't go to Walgreens. If you have a Walgreens, fuck Walgreens. They don't, yeah, fuck them. And they think they live by their own rules. Like, all these fucking corporate fucking bullshit things. And then they're going to push as far as they can. Because if it works for Walgreens, then they'll turn them all into the same shit. It's just like, this is what is doing. They are fucking evolving their world the way they want it to go. And it's all of this consumption of us. And so I can't remember what this girl's thing was. But it was just the same kind of stupid bullshit. Because I know what's happening for a lot of people, because everything in this system and the medical keeps showing how ridiculous it is, and how it's becoming its own little entity, which I had heard they were going to do this back in 2021 or something. I had heard they were doing already with those telephone things, and then that they were going to be, like the direction that they're going is, like you have to pay. I don't know how they'll do. I'm sure they're going to try and refine insurance. Maybe would even be like, well, we're just going to go on this open insurance thing, like kind of like a government or something. But the whole thing is they're just trying to get us in there to tell us we're sick. Like, I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking, you know, this is the system closing in on us to try and get us to go in so that, like I had said, I'm sure we're all sick as fuck right now. I'm sure. I mean, there's people who think they're fighting the flu, and I'm sure they're fighting CANCER. And you got to be doing all of these detoxing and stuff. Like, I have got Stella on so much. I'm on so much. And she keeps improving, I keep improving, and then other people getting sicker and dying, and especially if they rely on this system like this. And so they're trying to get us to have to go in and get these physicals. Oh, that's what hers was. She went in to get a physical. Oh, yeah. Okay. She went in to get a physical. Oh, confirmation. She went in to get this physical. And so she's waiting in the room. And she was told that she had to come in for her insurance to get this yearly physical. But if she asks any questions, then they're going to charge her. So you get billed for a different kind of appointment if you ask questions. What did I just say about that fucking mammogram thing? It's absurd. It's absurd. Yeah, the appointment's free. Just don't ask any questions. Okay. So anyways, I don't know what mine's going to be. I'm sure they're going to try and push me to do, I know they want to get in there and find out about that Hep C. They want to do another, because she had told me the antibody's already there, because I was questioning her. The antibody's already there and there's nothing. So how could it just come back? She goes, I don't know. It's so unusual. It happens. It happens. It's not like it doesn't happen, but it's just so unusual. And so we should just check. It's like, okay, so it went away, but then it's just somehow gonna power back in and come back, and my body's gonna have to fight it again. It's like, okay. And then, but I swear to God, and I don't put anything past these corporate labs and shit like that, and come back and tell us anything. And they probably just change ranges on machines. There's no telling what the hell they're doing with our BLOOD at this point either, when they get it in there. Like, this place is so fucking scammy. God. And the scams coming out, oh my Lord. It's like one after another. But that is what's going to be blown up in people's faces. Like the shit, like for those of us who have been awake listening to this shit for years now, it's just like, oh my God, Kimberly, oh my God. But the other people who are going through this, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, they're all falling apart. And it's going to get worse because there's still people who don't even see. And I just remember back, like, when we first started hearing about the stuff that was going on. And, you know, you have these sleepless nights. How can you sleep when you know that there's kids underneath you being attacked? And, like, what? They're sewing people together. They're fucking eating people. How can you even eat anything when you don't even know what the fuck you're eating? And these people are like, oh, my God, with all these burgers and meat and... It's like, oh, I got Stella some ground meat at the grocery store when I went the other day. It was marked down. So I was like, oh, she would like that little treat, because she always has chicken. And, you know, you're just looking at it. It's like, who is this? What is this? Like, oh God, this place. Because you really, seriously, you have to go out and, like, raise your own cow. Go down to the place. And, there's more and more too on this fucking, you know, the shenanigans at the synagogue. Then there's more coming out, and it's just so silly when you hear the news trying to, you know, cover their cover story. Like, oh yeah, just these religious fanatics, these young men, they just start digging this tunnel to go. They just want to go to church so bad. And there's all this, there's some other guys who I've seen a couple of different videos, because there's some other of these places, these temple places, and around, and these things underneath, you can go under them to go to other ones. So, yeah. These guys didn't just go and fucking do this a couple months ago and build this big elaborate fucking system down there. Bring in furniture, bring in things up. Apparently, there's more than one mattress that has, you know, a brown spot in a place where typically you would have your head laying. So, and then all their like, there's no telling what has gone on down in these tunnels. And I think a lot of these have been cleared out, you know, like for all this time. Because even back in DC, what was that, like a year and a half ago, when that one neighbor guy was doing that video, and he was talking about that they were digging up all around his neighborhood because they had gone in someone's house and they found some of those down there. And so they said that they were looking for more, and they thought they were used. I don't know. They come up with these stories like back in the days when they were hiding the slaves. This is how they moved them around and they got them up in there. It's like, okay. Yeah. And then think too, the people who believe that stuff, like, oh, see, you guys, that's all it is. Okay, I'll see. And so the people who, um, what was I going to say? Yeah, this girl, also, I can't think of her name, Allie. Allie is, I saw another interview. She's on Rumble right now with some thing. It was a documentary or something, talking about stuff. And she was talking about, uh, so under Hefner, I had heard about this though a long time ago. Under that place that always had all those parties and naked girls everywhere. I don't know where you want to go into what room in there, but under there, they had a whole elaborate thing. And when you would go under into those ones, then those led to a bunch of different houses and stuff. So these, there's a whole system down there where these people move around. And so Allie said that she would be moved from there. And she said, and then they would go all this, like they take a group of kids, and so they take them over there, and then they take them from there, and then they take them to the Getty. And that's a bad situation. Just like I hear about things about that, like Denver Airport or something like it's. But she said that you think like, oh, you just go down there in the, just like if you set him out from Hefner's place, then you just open the door. Okay, there's your go. She said that no, you have someone who's taking you all the time. They have to take you because they're so elaborate down there and they're so hard to. She said it's so much bigger. Like people have no idea. They think like, oh, there's just these little things. No, she says it's a whole fucking city down there. There's cities. There's all sorts of things. It's a whole thing underneath us, and you can't just go walking around down there by yourself. That you can make a wrong turn and get lost, and there's just tons and tons. They're going everywhere, and so you have to go with a guide, and they take you, and they're always taking all these kids and stuff. Like, oh my God, damn. And then it makes me think about that Jordan Peele movie where he was showing the people who were underground. Only he was doing it like it was like our doppelgangers or something that were under there. But it is like the dark side of life, you know. But what's weird too is the flipping the upside down, because the people who are on the up, they think that they are in the light, but they are really in the dark. And the people who are in the dark are really in the light because they know what's going on. And what's also so strange too is like, what was this one? This was a story. They're amping things up on the Strip. Now they've got kids, they can't sleep. They're so anxious because of all of the stuff going off. It's like these kids are born to this. This is this kid's life. It was probably quiet. They'd be like, oh my God, what happened? It's quiet. What are we going to do? Something bad's happening. Like they're used to that. They know though that, kids over here, parents, that we would be, oh my God, we're going to feel because we are looking at from our reality, what we experienced. And we haven't experienced that, so we don't know. It sounds horrific. And it would be horrific, but that's all they know. You're born into that, and that's all you know. You're born into a battle zone, and the battles are going, and it is the people's attitude. It's a whole different lifestyle. It's a different way of living. And they've been living this way for, thousands of years or something. It's not like we are over here. This is new, supposedly. It is new, though, because even when the people were here before, when they had all of America was all inhabited by tribes and stuff, they were all living more free. They weren't living under the thumb of this controlling institution that is it's like sucking from us. It's like sucking our life out of us. But it's just so weird because it's just like how the people just allow it. But the people allow it because they just don't know who they are. It's just weird. It's like, but when are you going to figure it out who you are? Like, what is it going to be like? Come on, come on, come on. And but these events are going to keep happening. All these events, and they're going to keep being, horrible isolated incidences. Even when they start, like right now, it sounds like the wind is calmed down. And I think it was supposed to, I thought it was supposed to like at midnight, but the power would go out for a second and come right back on. It's like, ugh. And my one neighbor, she said that she'd have her girls come up and sleep with her because it's so windy. They're scared a tree's going to fall in the house. I'm like, me too. Can I come and sleep over there? Oh, I'm scared too. It's like, fuck. It's like when you got these giant ass trees waving and you have seen the trees on houses and stuff. It's like, fuck. But the thing that with me is where I'll keep thinking, okay, just keep remembering the trees have each other's backs. The trees are not, they're out there that when you have a place where there's more trees, the ones right there, they all hold each other up. Only the really sick and dying would fall. It's the ones on the outskirts. It's the ones like, I think, when a tree doesn't have any other support from the other trees and they're out there and then they can just get whipped and just fall down on someone's house. I think it's more safe when you have a whole bunch around you, but it's still scary as shit looking. And if the ones on the outskirt fall, because when I first moved in, I had I had like 3 or 4 trees down, 2 huge ones. I still have the root system of those because they're on their side, because the tree just flips over, so they're on their side. And I don't even know how far the tree had gone. Probably had to be cut off of somebody else's yard at one point. And then I had another one over here, but you can't move the roots. So the roots I just have standing there in the yard. And it's like I don't know, it's kind of decorative. But the other ones up front, and those ones were in the middle more. And their tree was huge. And and they fell that way. It all depends on the wind too, man. And all this is, it's all depend, like, it's going to happen if it's supposed to happen. It's like you can't stop what's inevitable. You can't stop destiny. You can kick and scream and cry and whine, but that is you having to learn to come into union with understanding that it's like a destiny. What's meant for you is meant for you. What's going to happen to you is meant to happen to you because you're here to go through that experience and learn from it. So you can't stop it. But the out front, there was some that were down. And so there's like a blank spot up there, and that's where I put my garden area. So that kind of cleared itself out for a good, because that's where I'm a little raised garden is up there. So I don't know, but I completely get the fear of being, when you've got this big storm going that. But one thing too is it seems like a lot of these storms are not killing people. I think the things that are going to be, and even the volcanoes and stuff, I think the earthquakes, it's going to be the jolting the land down all of a sudden. It seems like kind of like, man, the ring of fire over here where I'm at, it seems like it's going to just keep getting worse and worse and worse. The ring of fire is going to just go. These templates or not templates, the tectonic plates are going to keep shifting and dropping. And I don't even know, like, if you went under the land mass, how it's all like sitting and stuff, but it's all shifting. So it'll just like fall down. And then all those people will go down with it. I would think there'll be huge amounts of people, I think, that will go. I think it's kind of like we're just heating up. It's like we're just getting started. And in that movie, what everybody keeps talking about, that Obama movie on Netflix, can't think of the world ending movie or whatever it is, and it didn't have things about these natural disasters. That's what I said. I said, if they're trying to program us, why wouldn't they just program us all on these natural disasters that are going to wipe us out? Because that's the problem. It's that people need to wake up. I think that movie was to wake people up. I think it was to get people to pay attention, because all the stuff that they were showing in the movies are already happening. The stuff with nature is showing that things are out of balance. Nature is showing the birds are doing weird stuff, and that's what you're supposed to be paying attention to. The birds' migration, because the birds will go towards safer. But right now, like, I swear to God, I thought the birds were already coming back. Oh no, maybe they just left. Like, look, I don't know. Seems like I just had heard the geese. They would not be coming back right now. It's way too cold. But it's so cold everywhere. Like, I don't know. Look, to me right now, with how cold it is, I can't. I mean, how uncomfortable to be homeless. Like, I would think some of them have got to be out there begging to fucking get out of this game. And it was like fucking misery. And it's each person's own individual journey. Like, you can't go out, and it's like each person has to, it's like click in to save themselves. And then it gets just like so bad. Like, how do you pull yourself up? It seems like you just got to change your attitude. You change your attitude, it's like it starts to elevate you. So it's just you starting to look at things differently is what makes changes. But the I don't know, there's just so much hopelessness with the people, and they're all so much more comfortable with the religious thing. I can't even. This one girl, she's like a spiritual girl, and she'll put these things on her head, and she, trying to act like she's all like a certain guru-ish type person or something. And then another video, she'll be out dutifully studying her Bible, telling you what it says and stuff. It's just like, everybody's just these strange combinations of things to me. Just like these girls who, try and be like, they're so close to the spirit and stuff. And then they're going around with like pink clown hair, crazy eyelashes. And they're so close to their Holy Spirit. It's just like, everything is just like so wacky. It's like I don't know. If you want to get close to what's natural and what's real, because that's what even was making me think about, with the sickness and this choice of these people who went and did it. And then the healthiest person in their family now has got heart issues. And I don't know, she just left the hospital last night. And I don't know what's next or anything. And then they were telling her they thought she had a really huge blockage. And when I heard that, it was like, oh, crap. Like, ugh, are they going to go in there and try and pull out those fucking long-ass goddamn things? Like, maybe, going in there and getting some of that. Like, to me, I'd be fucking on the cayenne. But see, they've all, like, they got that added stuff. Like, we've all got it added in. I mean, somebody just was melting their snow in Colorado. They went out and got a scoop of snow, brought it in and melted it. There's more than one person doing this too. So you can look it up, because other people were like, well, I'm going to do it now. So go out and melt your snow, take it in and get it in a cup. And then once it's in the cup, then take a magnet and go down and start moving it, and all this black goes and pulls. So I've been saying that for a long ass time. These people who go around, oh, I'm pure blood. Yeah, I'm pure blood. Fuck those stupid asses. I'm a pure blood. I was like, fuck off with this shit. Fucking talk about your pure blood ego maniac. And so I would say, even when those people would say that, I'd say, well, do you not eat or breathe or drink anything? Because it's in everything. That's just one way that they got it in. Are you joking? Like, ugh, it's people, like, that's what I mean. It's so fucking much more an ego than even thinking. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, they had one plan. We'll do that. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, it's just by accident. Our food is full of fucking poison now. They didn't know that. I did that by accident. Yeah, well, it was a one I saw yesterday too. Oh, I'll tell you something that's crazy too is the cereal box drama. The cereal box drama is a crack up. The first one I had seen was a guy, and he was a man, and he opened his box of cereal. I think it was Lucky Charms or something. It was his, over a processed fucking poison food. And so he opened it. My stomach's growling, pouring it into the bowls, and a note comes out. This cracks me up. So a note comes out. Apparently, there's more cereals having this note come out, and what was the other one too? Oh yeah, because that one was somebody was someplace. A mom and a daughter. They were someplace, and see, this is white hat shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This mom and daughter were somewhere. I can't remember where it was. It was something that was just going on, and somebody started handing something out, and then, so they all were getting these CDs or some kind of tape or something. So they went and listened, and everybody's the mom and daughter said the same things, but it's the same thing as like this letter thing that's in the cereal, which is really funny too to put in the cereal, because that a lot of the people who are parents, like my neighbor and stuff, a lot of the people who are parents that are just focused on getting their kids to school, they're all a big part of the system. And so where do you slide in there? What window can you find to catch their attention? Box of cereal sounds pretty perfect. Like in this letter, somebody was reading it. It's all full disclosure, just telling all this stuff, just like those tapes that those other people had gotten. So it's coming in all over. Like they aren't going to just rely on the news. You just go. So funny. You go open a bag of M&Ms and oh, look, here's a note. Let's open it up. Oh, it tells you typed out format of everything going on in the world and how you need to wake up. I was like, oh, it's so funny. That just cracked me up, I swear. So, so you got the people with it's just going to keep coming and coming and coming. So, yeah, no matter what, they're going to keep bringing. The universe it's changing gears. It's like you can't hide from the truth. The truth is coming out, and it's going to disrupt. That's the crazy thing, is how much the truth is going to disrupt life. It's going to change it. It's going to turn it up on its head. It's going to flip it the other direction. But the pain that each person has to go through of their own selves, of being like, how did I not see this? How did I not see this? And especially when it's going to be so blatant right in front of them, and how much they're all in denial of it. Like, I really don't know what my daughters are thinking about. It just was tripping me out hearing him. I've gone all natural on this. And also keep in mind though, too, I didn't ever take any of these. I think it seems like, maybe way back, I don't even know. It would have been probably the first one at a hospital when they started telling us, or maybe it was even in nursing school, when they said, well, you have to have it. That you have to. And so I think I maybe have had one of those. And, but I'm just somebody who, when they would bring them out at the certain time of season at the hospital, and you'd have all these nurses lining up to get them, I was like, no way. Why would you even go get that? And then they would always get sick. And I even asked that one time, because it would always be a certain time when we'd have to go down and get a bunch of different ones. I mean, you have to go get Hep A, go get all these ones. That's why I thought maybe I'd had the Hep C one. But there isn't one for that. But so we would have to go down and get those, and they would always try and push that one on me for the FLU, and I would always say no. And I would say, how does it even like, is it live virus? Like, I don't get it. And they said, no, it's not. I was like, well, then what the hell? What the hell? You're supposed to be putting like a tiny smidge of it in, so your body builds up immunity? Like, what the hell are you doing? And I don't even remember, but I was like, at that point, I was like, hell to the no. don't know what the hell you're putting in me. I don't know. And it makes everybody sick. Like, fuck off with this shit. So I hadn't been taking those. And so, yeah, when they came up with this one, it was like, no, no, hell no. And I chose natural, and, I also have an understanding that going out shopping and stuff like that, where these people are like, whoa, no, and they just look sicker and sicker and sicker. I wonder why. You go out, you go around them, and you're walking through stores and stuff, you're getting the tiniest bit of germs. If somebody is out there, you're getting that little low dose, the little low dose that you want. So it goes in and your body's like, oh, hell, let's like build up some immunity to that. We don't like that. You don't even have to feel anything. Your body's just chugging along, building immunity. Like, you don't isolate completely. Like fucking Stern over there, like, no, get away, those sick people are out there, like, oh God, keep them away, I'm so scared, I'm gonna get sick. It's like, dude, come on. Like, fuck, I don't understand this way of thinking. Like, god damn. But it is important to me, I think, to go out and go, just do your regular stuff. Go out, go shopping, go do your thing. You're not getting up inside somebody's space. Like, I think 5 foot is pretty extreme. They're trying to make like a 5 foot, like the distance if somebody sneezed or coughed, it's unlikely that it would go past that far. But I mean, if somebody is like standing next to you and they start sneezing and coughing, surely if they don't turn their head, you turn and go, like, geez. You don't have to take someone's germs right in your face. That the getting those little bits is what helps your body to fight and become stronger. Those little, it gets a couple of those little germs, those little bacteria in there, and then your body goes to work. It brings out all these certain white blood cells, and they build up a recognition. So it gives them like, oh, okay, we know you're a problem. And so they build up like these super soldiers that are going to conquer that sickness. So you come in and then you go around somewhere else and you're around a lot more of those germs, then your body fights it. You have to, the way that your body can't is when your body becomes sick and depleted. When you are sick and depleted, and that's why those kinds of things take out old people. Because they're sick and depleted. But now we know they're sick and depleted because they're short on enzymes and minerals, and overrun by parasitic toxins. And so it is where you, the individual, has to look at your own health and your own environment and decipher what it is you need to do. You need to take the action of going and looking into other products. Like, fuck, I'm on a lot. Like, I don't know, at some point, probably, well, at some point, we're not going to need them all, I don't think. I don't think we're going to need it's nonstop horse pace. What's next? Now I'm going to, it's like this nonstop pouring this stuff on us. Like, I mean, in the rain and the snow, I said too, in the density of the water, you can tell sometimes when the rain starts becoming so dense, it's carrying something. They use this as a carrier agent. So it's carrying, and you hear the water just splat, splat, splat. Well, it's a little heavy, isn't it? I don't even like to be out there with that stuff. And Stella keeps going out and drinking it, But I keep on thinking, well, all the animals in nature, they're out there drinking it. And, I mean, we can only, whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. Like, that's the thing. And even with, Howard Stern, it's like, dude, you're going to die when you're supposed to die. Like, your time up. It's like the timer's going in the game. And when your time runs out in the game, you leave the game. And anything can happen. A fucking boulder can fall out of the sky and fall on you, and you're out. And then it's always like, I kind of feel like some of the souls, they leave these dramatic things. Another thing too I was thinking about, it's kind of trippy, is how we leave an imprint of ourselves. We leave something behind. There's always something left behind of us. And I think it was making me think about it because there's all these things being dug up, like these fossils, or finding, all this hidden history. Because everything is going to be coming, it's all going to be going at the same time. All this unveiling and all the it's truth. It's like this magnificent thing happening. And so all these, this hidden history and hidden stuff, that keeps being exposed. They keep finding these unusual things in unusual places, of course. And what was this one? Seems like it was a woman's head or something that was found, which then they made them see things completely different. I don't remember what it was. It was a discussion, but I was like, oh my gosh, it is kind of trippy how, like, we're not real, but a doctor can go cut into us. Like, I got to sit here and find a doctor who will cut into me and take this plastic out, which I was even thinking, how strange that those of us, like us women, that we sat here and thought that was a good idea. And I started thinking, it's weird. It's like, because they put this plastic to make this other part of you pop out. So this other parts of you pop out to take up more space than it was supposed to take up. So it's like the high focus on this spot. It's like, where did we come up with this? It had to be something out of the movies. It had to be something with programming. Because where did we come up with, like, this bosom and this, that was, more womanly, and, it was all like this programming. Because there's still tons of women who still go and get them all the time. Now I just look at it as like, oh my God, where in the world did we come up? Like the insecurity to feel in order to have somebody cut you open. And I was thinking, it's so wild too, because you got like all your milk ducts and stuff there, like all this stuff that has to do with this birthing, of another life, and your milk that you feed them and stuff, and they're cutting into there, and we're like, yeah, go ahead, stick some plastic in there, make me look like I've got big boobs, and that'll be fuck. That's gonna be. It's like, oh my God, it's just so strange. Like, I'm not hard on myself about being insecure. It's like frustrating. Like, I wish I could just make them just pop out and go away. But it's just so strange to think, like, how did we get, how did I get convinced to do that? How did I get so insecure? And to think, like, yeah, practice on me. Stick some plastic in me. That makes sense. It's like, man, I was very, it's weird as you awaken and you look back at yourself before you're awakened. It's just like, oh my God, you do look at yourself as just like so asleep. So just like, oh my God, was I not thinking? Was I just like so desperate to have big boobs or something? And I didn't even want big boobs. I just wanted the skin filled in. I just wanted them to just like tighten them. I didn't want big boobs. And, but then it's out of your hands too. The doctor's got you asleep. I don't want to be asleep under a doctor's knife ever again, I'll tell you that. And that seems to be something that, I don't think a lot of people, these surgeons and stuff, they don't get it. Like, last time I went in and got surgery, they gave me a brain injury. No, I don't want that. I just want a simple removal of just like if you go in and you have a piece of glass. When I had that piece of wood in my leg, and they just have to go in, dig it out, pull it out, put a little stitch, and let you go. I don't even think they stitched it. But it's the same kind of thing. Just pull out the artificial thing out of me. Just get that out, and I'll be good. So, but I don't know. These doctors, they're all just up their own asses, and it's way more important to them to, look, it's so ridiculous, but they're en blanc, especially when there's so much evidence that that's not a good thing to do, to just go and dig all that stuff out of there, especially like if you get an infection and it's so close to your heart and lungs right there. Yesterday I was laying, or last night I think I was laying, and I was thinking about, I'm always like, oh, I'll just make them smaller in my mind. And I could feel my heart beating, and I could feel the plastic beating. And it was like, yeah, that's way too close. Like, I don't know why somebody would go in and dig out. Like, I don't think that I don't know. There's lots of people who don't understand the body, but then the body is not even real. But it's weird because we leave remnants behind. So it's like this, it's like the frequency, it leaves something of you behind. Like you leave a mark that you were here. Even when you go out, there's still a mark. There's a mark through all of the different histories. Even though in reality, if we went out of this, that there would be, you would be able to go into another time in the same place. So even though we have remnants in our reality of what existed, it's still existing. It's weird because it's still going on at the same time. But that's what makes up the realms. See? It's these realms of reality. It isn't like they can be having the same space, but it's all this just realms. It's not set different places. I don't know how to explain that. It's like all these different things can share this same space, but all these different things are happening. It's like at the same time, but in time is in different times. So it's like, some of this stuff is like hard to even understand, to explain. But it is like all things are all happening at the same time. And it's like you can go out of one realm and go into another realm. And that's where we haven't gone to that part yet. Like that's ahead for us. Just learning how to move through realities and move through realms, through portals. Because they all use portals. And so anyways, we'll learn how to use portals. And there keeps being portals up on the TV too. This, whatever this thing is, keeps having the coolest imagery on this screen. But let me think. There was something else. I swear when I started talking, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to be talking about today. I know I meant to say something about my hair. It's just so weird too, is how I'm sitting here, you know, and it makes it look like it's more white right here, but it's just not when you go into the bathroom. But I don't know. I would say tomorrow you'll probably still be able to see some of this lighter color. I'm going to say now, I would think by, because even if it's by Sunday, that this is all lighter, it still goes through this phase of darkening. So it darkens and darkens more and more. So it will just keep darkening. So however it goes, so even by Sunday, if it still is showing like a little tiny bit, by next week, I bet you it's going to be so different looking. Like I bet it's going to be so much just the hair color. But it's just so cool too how it is changing. My hair is changing. Like we really need these minerals and stuff. These minerals are important to us, and I swear to God, that is what is aging. It is this depletion of the things that we need. And the reason why they get people to participate is because people feel so bad about themselves. And as they age, you know, and then you start having aches and pains because it's not hurting. And so you start having these aches and pains, and then you start feeling like you're aging, your hair's turning, your skin's turning, everything on you is becoming more sicker and dried up, and your pain and your relationships suck, your kids hate you, and then the people just age themselves. They get miserable. They hate themselves, they hate being alive, Nobody's there for them. Nobody cares about them. And so they just get sicker and sicker. And oh my gosh, my mom sent me this picture. She had this weird thing happen. She said this was so spooky. And she said that she was doing something. She went out of her bedroom, and then when she came back into it, her TV had a big picture of her. It was just a big picture of her on her TV. And she said it was very unsettling. It was so scary. And so then she sent the picture to me, which is just a regular picture of her just sitting like, I don't know, probably like at one of her church luncheons, just sitting there smiling. And someone took a picture, and her hair looked really good. It was like, oh my gosh, her hair looks so good. And it was just really cute how it was fixed. But the thing was, it was solid white. Like her hair turned fast. Like the last time I saw her, it was not solid white. And how long has that been? It's only been a few months. And her hair's fucking like snow. Like just like what, I mean, that's where my hair was headed. It's like just this white hair. And so she's trying, you know, she's getting this stuff together to do it. But I'm be real curious to see how that goes when she starts. I bet you it starts going. It wouldn't surprise me if it starts turning real fast too. I think if you're really super depleted, maybe. I don't know. I know if anybody who has any signs of aging, gray hair, your skin, any of this stuff, I would start looking into minerals and enzymes and all that kind of stuff. And then also look into healing. You got to face your issues. You can't just put them aside. And no matter what, if people want to put them aside, you still have to face them. You have to face them at your life review. When you pass, you have to go in and face your shit. It's way better to face it here, where you have an opportunity to do something different, to make a change, to to acknowledge your behavior, and to follow through on flipping things the other way. If you've been one certain way, and then you're like, you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I was acting like that. Oh my God, I'm such a jerk. And you don't have to be stuck like that. You just have to face it. You just have to see it. And you face it by going in and understanding yourself and seeing like, man, why was I being such a jerk? Why was I so like, yeah, I do get kind of tense. Like, what's pushing me? What gets me so like where I'm on edge all the time? Why am I on edge? Like, you got to go back in. Just go into yourself. Just follow it back. Isolate the thing and then follow it back and try and find the birthplace so that you can, bury it. Bury it where it was born. And put up a little, like, what are those little things? Like little stake, it was born and died, born on this day and died on this day, and let it go. Give it rest. And then start and then when you do start having like automatic response, like where you start noticing them, start being like, oh gosh, I was about to just get mad. Wait, let's see. Why was I going to get mad? What am I getting mad about? What is my trigger? And just start reeling it in. Just start questioning yourself more. Start catching yourself. That's the whole thing, is your awareness of self. You have awareness of self, then you can start living how you want to live. You can start changing things how you want to change them. You are in control. You are the master. You can't master what's going to happen. What's going to happen is going to happen. You have got to be able to manage whatever wave comes in and hits you. You got to be able to get back up. And until you're defeated, until you leave the game. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some of the people, I swear to God, when they leave the game, it's like they want to leave in the most dramatic fashion. It's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have a car is gonna flip over, it's gonna throw me out, I'm gonna land over there on that sign up in the air, I'm gonna dangle there for a couple of hours, and it's like, God, this stuff is so wacky that people come up with in their death, like. And I know people think like this stuff just happens and stuff. I don't think it just happens. I think everything is it's all written. It's all like written in the stars. It's all by design. And every player has a part in it. So whatever your coming and going as, and whoever you're involved with through your life, it all comes from you. It's not like the universe is out to get you and they hate you and they made you be born to bad parents so that you would suffer, and then they made bad people come into your life so that you would be treated like shit and be abused. No, you came up with all that because you thought you could overcome it. You thought you could conquer. And even if you can't conquer during the situation, it's what you learn from it. Because everything is about what you learn. It's about your evolution. It's about you growing. It's about you becoming better, more, and more abilities. And you are creating your abilities. You're filling your toolbox. So it's, I don't know, it all has an importance, significance. Everything that happens in life is important. People just don't, I don't know. It's just weird because they just don't understand about life, but then they try and figure out what it all means. And they just go at it in just such strange ways. Like, I don't know. Jesus and God in the sky, Satan's trying to get them. And so, anyways, but everybody's going to have to come to their own. You can't get anybody to see what you see. Everybody's got to see for themselves. And everybody's sight is inside of them. So they've got to see for themselves. You can't get anyone to see what you see. Everybody has their own insight, their own foresight. Everybody's got to, I don't know, it's kind of like break free from the group. Because just like in that game, just like in Twilight Zone, he showed all the time, the group just feeds off of ignorance. And then they think that they know. It's like in the Twilight Zone ones where, you know, the lights go out and then the neighbors start being like, well, it's got to be him. He is him. That guy over there, he's bad. And they gang up on him. And then the lights come back on. It had nothing to do with that guy. But the people, it's their, you know, and nothing changes until each individual starts changing, until each individual stops being reactive. And, you know, that's why we're in the transition. You know, even for those of us who understand about the age of Aquarius, we still can't just live in the age of Aquarius. We can't just live in bliss. Living in bliss while the whole world's falling apart. Now that seems like psychotic to me. Just pretend like the world's fine. Just pretend like everything's fine. And then just the whole world's falling apart. And mass amount of people are dying. We've got people now, they're closing schools to house these migrant people. All these people transitioning. There's way more. There's stuff going on in other places too. And so they're closing schools. Or I saw one video where this guy has been living at one of these fancy hotels for 7 months in New York. So these Roosevelt or whatever, all these hotels that are housing him, that the government's giving him these huge amounts of money because it's just a fucking laundry system. And so they're giving him all these huge amounts of money. And this guy who was out there interviewing and stopped the guy and it was asking about it, and he said, yeah, he's been living there 7 months. They feed him 3 meals a day. They get everything is free, everything. And then, you know, you're walking past vets that are laying there in the streets. It's like, but this is all, you know, and you can't, I can't sit there and go like, oh, well, this is this lesson, and that person's got this and that, because there's so many. There's so many lessons. There's so many things happening that people need to step up, step into their power. There's just, you know, there's a lot. Oh yeah, because the one, did I already say that about the guy who was out at my house? And he was out, he pulled it up and he got out of his car and started taking pictures. He's just walking around taking pictures of my house. And so I was like, what in the hell? So I got my phone. I was just like, I'll just go out and film them and say, you know, because I'm thinking this is another one of these vultures. Like, they just have no boundaries. They just think they can do whatever they want. And when I opened the door and stepped out on the porch, he started saying he was a appraiser. He was getting comps. And so he was, taking pictures of my house. But then the other neighbor messaged me. And so she started talking to me. And so I was like, man, I'm talking to everybody. Everybody's like coming together. And I don't know if that's a sign of something. I don't know. But she was saying that there was somebody out there again taking pictures of my house. And so I started telling her, what he said. And so we were talking about all this stuff too. Not all this stuff. We were just talking about, neighborhood stuff. But it was also trippy because the one across the street, she's got a young husband. The one next door, now they split, so she doesn't have a husband. It's her and 2 kids. Me and my dog. She's got 3 dogs. The one across the street from me, it's her. Her husband is reserve, so he leaves for weeks at a time. And I don't know, he was there last week, but I don't think he's there right now. So I don't know what's going on about that. And then, so he's not there, and then it's just her. And the next door to her is that woman, other woman I've been talking to. She's around my age, and her husband, he's retired. And then next to them is some people who live up there. I think they're old. The people next to them, they're like old. The guy next to me over here, he's like my age. I was like, ugh. All of us right here is all women and kids and old guys. Like, we don't have any young fighters out there. Like, we have the one military guy who's not around. It's like, man, it's just, if they came and started really, and with all the noise, like, I can't even tell you. Like, yesterday, like, I have said about the planes, but yesterday when they would go over, I swear to God, it would take like 10, oh, that was weird. It just flew out of the fire. It would take like 10 minutes. It just keeps going and going and going. And it's like, what is going on? Like, look, I don't know. Our physical reality our physical reality isn't real. So it's definitely like this wavering, and the sky. Oh my gosh. I went out for a second. Because I got a delivery. So I went out to get the package, and I look up, and the sky is like this thick gray, but then there's like this crescent moon slice in it that is kind of opened, but the light that was coming out of it, it was wild looking. And so I went back up to get my phone to go back down and get a recording of it, but by the time I got down there, it was already gone. And it was almost like it was gone on purpose. Like I knew it was going to be gone. I knew it was going to, it's kind of like the universe wants us to see things, but not everything is, I don't know. There's so many videos of sky stuff. Anyways, we're overrun with it. But it is like they want you to see things, but it isn't, it's like for us. Like there's certain things that we see that we're supposed to see, but it's not supposed to be that I'm supposed to share. Just like when I saw the portal open above me, it was, and I didn't have my phone on me for that one either. It was like, it was more of, just getting into the, this realization that this is all fake, and it's all going to keep falling apart, and it's all going to just collapse because it's not real. It's like the lights going out, flickering, and then the flicker goes off. There's something to the reality of the old reality falling apart, as it wasn't real anyways, and the new reality coming through. But it's all in this transition. It's all in this like war battle thing of all of this stuff occurring. So all these things have to occur. But then it's like once it all goes, that's what leads to peace. So all this has to go in this chaotic manner, because that's what leads to peace. And all these different people are here playing different roles, just like how we can look at the kids in the strip and think like, well, this is their life. This is like what they are used to, like I'm sure, I would go sit in there and I would be like, having total stress attack, total anxiety with all of this stuff going on. And they just sit there probably. I mean, they've been listening to this stuff since they were in their mother's stomach. And it's also strange is, how do they have all these kids there? Where's the parents? Like, there's a lot of weird shit over there. I think it's just like to draw our attention because it's all this, it's the whole thing. They started the places going in, destroying people, taking the land, what they've got going on over in Hawaii. It just keeps being more drama and, all these different places. It's going to continue this drama. And then there's going to be this like fall and then a rebuild. It's like the fall, it kind of feels like it's like the earthquake. It's like the ground falls. It's like it's so dramatic. And there's no more like the ground falls. There's no more like, well, where are we going for happy hour? These people are just like, Mom, mindlessly, let's just go drive. Like, I really feel bad putting her on a bus, man, in this storm that's going on and not knowing what the hell is going to happen. You got 2 days to get to California on the bus. It's like, and you have to stop all these times and all this storm and stuff, like, bug. So, anyways, everybody's story is everybody's story, like, bug. And you can't control it. You can't sit there and be like, well, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. It's like, no, you don't know. Whatever's supposed to happen is what's supposed to happen for this person. It's their journey. It's like we can't sit here with our own fears and come up with what we fear and say, oh, you can't do that. No, that is our own individual thing, to be able to find peace, to not be on every little, oh my God, that's going to happen. Oh my God, that's going to happen. Because I'm way more like that. I'm way more like, oh my God, that's going to happen. And not to like, I don't know, Howard Stern degree. Like I don't fear death and I don't fear sickness, but the shifts, all the shifts and all of the, the drama from the natural things, like, when the wind's blowing and you think like, fuck, if a tree comes through and then I'm in here, I can't stay in the house if it goes through the window. I'm going to have to go somewhere. And then I'm going to have to get in the car. Where am I going to go? Like, start thinking like that. I don't want a tree to fall through my house. And I don't want the ground to fall out from under us. I don't want earthquakes to happen and all these people to die. But it's like, that's the time we're in. We're in this time. And then when you don't want these things to happen, but then you have to go into your spirit and understand, oh, well, this isn't real. This isn't real. And this is, everybody dying. They're not really dying. It's the end of a story. We're in this movie. We're in this movie that's playing out. And this is the storyline. And yeah, people are going to leave the storyline, but they are going into a different place, a different storyline. It's not like they're leaving forever. So, but that's, each person has to come to their own terms with things. And I don't know, that's difficult for people because they're just so off on their beliefs. So I don't know, we'll see how things keep shifting and going. I think the universe is going to get at more where the information that they want to come out will be more of what's coming out, is shifting. There will be, like I said, there will be like elevation of different energy will be elevated, and the other energy will start to die. So in that shift of balance, then that is where people have to look at it. That's like where people were so accepting of such superficial shit. And then I saw, even after I was just saying that about those people being paid $1 million to, I saw someone else talking about that. And they were saying about these design companies will pay them, like they want them to go and wear their dress. So they'll pay them to wear this dress So pay them like $1 million to go to a party and wear their dress. It's like, I don't know. It all seems really ridiculous. Like, so you think you're going to go to a party and sell this dress to other rich people who won't even wear the same thing twice? They're going to buy this $1 million dress because this girl wore it? Are you just trying to get your name out there? Because all these people's names, it keeps being the same names over and over. These design houses and stuff. I don't know. The whole thing seems weird and shady. It seems like they're just trying to get us to go in a superficial, shallow direction. Elevate people for no substance. Just because you look good in a dress. Like, yeah, well then you deserve to be elevated. Just like these people have this religion. Oh, well, God chose them. Those ones over there. It's like the whole thing. It just is the creation of hierarchy. The creation of people feeling bad about themselves, not being good enough. Going down to doctors to get chopped up so that they can try and make themselves into this other role model. Oh yeah, because that person was saying these are mannequins. All they are is mannequins. Yeah, there's nothing to them. There's no substance. You're going to stand around and just smile and look good in a dress and that's all you got? Like, that's it? Like, what happens when about 100 other girls walk in and look good in a dress? Like, there's lots and lots of girls look good in dresses. There's lots and lots of girls look good in a lot of things. Like, what's your standout? Like, you gotta line them up. Just like, because this one got picked. So why did this one get picked? Pauly Shore is doing some really weird thing right now too, and I'm not sure if he's doing it as a joke or if he really is trying to release information and he just doesn't know how to be serious, or I don't know. It's strange. As he's talking about this party he went through with Marky Mark, and Leonardo was there, and then also Pesci and De Niro and Pacino. De Niro paid him $200 million for all three of the gangsters to stick their finger up his ass, and he thought he was going to get a movie part for it or something. But Wahlberg got it, so he wants to know what he did for the part or something. I don't know. I don't even know. It's just, is he trying to just make fun of the cat thing, or is there more comedians to come out and I don't know. I mean, it kind of gets you to even be thinking with the comedians. Like, you got all these comedians that keep coming out, and like Whitney, like, what's the gold juice? I don't know. What's the gold juice? Like, I'm a comedian. I don't know anything about that. And then Cat, he was a comedian, but then he's got all sorts of stories. And I don't know. There's just, I don't know. We just got to see. Just things are going to keep playing out. Things are going to keep being revealed. We'll see. Like, the good guys will be shown and the bad guys will be shown. The bad guys are going to be going down. They're going to be being, you know, you're going to meet the squad out back after the tribunal. Like, that's what I think, too, that it's fast. I think they pull them in. And it's not any of these kind of things. Oh, well, you get two lawyers up there arguing, and then you get this judge. Like, it's very much more drawn out on our judicial. The military one is fast. And then you come in, you get your charges. I don't even know what the evidence. I think that the evidence is already in. Like, I think that they already know about some of this stuff. I'm not even sure, but I think that it's like you go into your thing and you lose, you just go out back with the squad, and then it's over. It's goner. And I don't know. Maybe they have a day or a night to sit in a cell and stress about it. I have no idea. I think that there's going to be a lot more people who are gone that people don't even know about. And now they're saying Fetterman's a different guy, and he's going completely different. Well, they had said he was a different guy a long while ago when he disappeared the first time. So, I don't know. Did he go do one of those? And he went and met the squad, and then they just did a replacement character to keep the storyline, to bring down some other people. Because all the different ones is to bring down other people. So it's all the connections. It's all the different degrees that people are connected. It's like it's going to keep pulling them down and pulling them down. That's why there's people who, just regular citizens, that don't even realize what they're connected to, don't even realize what they're a part of. I mean, they know that they've made crimes, they know they've done illegal shit, but they think, oh, well, everybody else is doing it too. But they don't realize, like, no, there's a group of people who go out and try and find the criminals to get you. They look for fall guys, they look for people to, it's like, it's so corrupt. It's just so corrupt. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I've been talking a long time, probably about a lot of nothing, a lot of nonsense. So, anyways, we'll see what this day goes. I'm, fuck, supposed to be just, over in Spokane, it's supposed to be like 40 below. Here, it's supposed to just be like 0, but with the wind chill and stuff. I'm sure, like in the Dakotas, in Nebraska, I'm sure there's some places that are horrible. And I don't even know, with the homeless people, and there's people like so many people living in cars and vans and tents, and like there's people who are living off grid in all sorts of situations. That's why I said even before, where it was like, man, it's all about timing. Like, yeah, living off grid is a great idea, but right now the timing is just this shifting, this big storm of shifts of all these things happening. And I just can't imagine being out there off grid, isolated and alone in some of these storms. Like, God damn, that would be scary. And some of these people, they would just, disappear and nobody would even know. So anyways, this is definitely, we're in the eye of the storm for sure. But it's like we're in the eye of the storm, but we'll come out on the other side, because you can see so much is being exposed. Like, there's no more hiding it. And I'm sure my people in the family have got to be thinking, the healthiest person in our family now has heart issues. Like, where did they come from? Nobody in our family's had those before. They've all had strokes and stuff. And them trying to say, like, about there's stuff in there, she's got a big blockage, then that stuff, they could say, well, that's what caused the stroke. Like, they'll say whatever. They don't know. They'll say whatever. But still, your soul has got to be telling you, like, I don't know. I think all these kind of instances, all these kind of situations is to just like, it's like to prick a hole in the wall. Prick a hole in there. Let something in. Let in some light. Let them see something different that they didn't see before. So, anyways, this looks so weird. I still don't get why it looks like that. Why it looks foggy on this side. So, anyways, I'm going to go and get this downloaded, and we'll see what the rest of this day brings. If we go with no power or whatever, because all the people are going with no power, and it's so cold, and I don't know, there's a lot of people who don't have wood, don't have fireplaces. This is all about survival and you showing yourself what you're made of, I swear. So anyways, spend this day taking care of yourself and loving the people that you have with you, because you just don't know what's next, what's going to end and what's going to start. We're at a time of endings and beginnings. So anyways, love the people that you're around, and hope for the best. Hope that we get to stay all together. But I don't know. I just don't know. You just got to be like, go with the flow. And it just really threw me yesterday. It came like out of left field. I was not expecting her to be the one who gets sick in the family, and not knowing where it's going to go. But got to remember, my brother got a brain tumor a year and a half ago, and he's doing great. He's retired now, which I knew that was coming. And I'm sure he got an early retirement. He worked for Fuji for fucking 20 years or 25 or 30 years. He's worked there a long time. And so I'm sure that they gave him, I'm sure they were nice to him. They liked him. So anyways, that is That's the end of me talking today. I'll just keep talking. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Same thing. Same. As long as there's power, I'll be here. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.